Whispers in the fog. The old town of Black Hollow had a secret. Every night, when the fog rolled in from the marsh, whispers could be heard in the streets. Some said it was the wind. Others believed it was the ghosts of those who had disappeared. But no one dared to venture outside after dark, not since the night Eliza Moore vanished. It had been 10 years since that night, and the townsfolk still spoke of her in hushed tones. Eliza was only 17, with fiery red hair and a defiant spirit. She never feared the stories of Black Hollow, calling them tales for children. Then one evening, she walked into the fog and never returned. Her family searched for days, but no trace of her was found, except for a single footprint near the marsh, half sunken in the mud. The return one autumn evening, a stranger arrived in Black Hollow. He was tall and thin, with sharp features and piercing blue eyes. He introduced himself as Victor Graves, a historian researching old legends. The townsfolk warned him of the whispers, but he laughed. "Ghosts don't scare me," he said. Victor took a room at the inn, and when the fog slithered into the streets that night, he did what no one else would dare. He walked outside. The whispers began immediately, low voices murmuring, calling his name. The fog curled around his feet, thick and suffocating. He turned a corner and saw a shadow move ahead. "Who's there?" he called. No answer. Then a giggle, a soft, eerie laugh. Victor followed the sound, his heart pounding. The laughter led him to the edge of the marsh, where he saw her, Eliza Moore. She stood barefoot in the mud, her red hair drifting as if caught in an unseen breeze. Her dress was torn, her skin pale, but her eyes, they burned with something unnatural. "Eliza," he whispered. She smiled. "You came." Victor took a step closer. "You've been missing for 10 years. Where have you been?" Her smile widened. "I never left." The whispers around him grew louder. They were all around, pressing against him, crawling into his ears. He staggered, clutching his head. "Stop!" But the voices didn't stop. Eliza reached for him, her fingers ice cold. "Join us," she whispered. Victor tried to move, but his body refused. The fog thickened, wrapping around him like hands pulling him underwater. He gasped, the air heavy with rot and decay. His vision blurred. The last thing he saw was Eliza's face, her smile splitting open into something inhuman. Vanished. The next morning, Victor Graves was gone. The townsfolk found his notebook near the marsh, pages soaked with dew. The last entry read, "I hear them. The whispers, they call my name. She is here. Eliza Moore is waiting." And so, Black Hollow's secret remained. The whispers in the fog never faded. And every now and then, when the mist crept in, another soul disappeared, forever lost to the voices in the dark.